Hi, this is Karen again. I'm going to be adding to my other videos. Um, I have found out that they may be extorting money out of where they roofied some kind of weird confession. Don't ever get them money. Nothing bad happened to anybody but me and those four men that got hurt on the gunshot night. I had heard through their family members that one may be dead, and another one said that he's crippled. Other one said that they got shot at running. The roofied confession, I didn't know they did it. They had to slip something in my drink when I was out of the room. I either had to take the puppies outside or go to the bathroom and then slip in one of the doors. They always say, they have me saying everything. Everything what? And then someone said in Walmart it was a mean game of pretend, which is stupid. I didn't even know about it for 11 months afterwards. It was a mean, documented game of pretend. As Flora said, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. Never give those people money. Nothing bad happened to those kids or my kids. Now Joshy's vehicles did get tampered with, but that was them. Because they said that they would be next. And they have a list of people they're going to move on to. Who's next? Never give kidnappers and druggers money that work for a cult. It's just going to finance it. I don't know what's on that tape, nor did I know that they did it to me. No officer, no agent knocked on my door and said, Karen, I'd like to speak with you. I only spoke to an FBI agent once, told him I was scared. I forgot to tell him the night before that another agent had went to Apostolic Church of Pemberton and told Paul Paper I called the FBI on them. I was so upset from that one man threatening to knife me and Giant Eagle and want to shame me in Walmart. And Dave holding me down for 30 minutes. I love you. I love her more. I'm so sorry, Karen. You have to die for her. I hired a man to slit your throat, stab you in the heart. And if you try to run for it, I have a man to put a bullet in you. He wasn't lying. But actually call him a bastard right now. And then it was supposed to be for that one man that lost his son in a traffic accident 18 years ago, where I had nothing to do with it. His father-in-law ran a stop sign, and he lost it at the funeral. And I had been sick for years, and it went into remission. And that minister lied to everybody I wasn't sick, and I wasn't have documents I was sick. But they lied to him. And he's worth a lot of money. And that's the case. Everything else is an obstruction to justice, premeditated, drugging and framing, extortion of others, and trying to extort money from me. Don't ever give those people money. They're just going to finance more murders, more extortion. They went as far as setting up tiny cameras in my home. They don't get a quarter to do that. They'd have the police and hire do an investigation, and they weren't called. I called the FBI. They went as far as to say you wipe some toxic water off you with clothes on. You can touch any part of your body with clothes on, wiping water off, inside or out. You're not being weird. They had to look into it and said, you just adjusted yourself, you didn't expose yourself, you're good. But they didn't put them in jail for doing it. It's spying. It's a 2-year sentence. These people are utterly ridiculous. I have notified the White House, Senator Kurt Scheuer's office. They had a man look into it. They know that FBI has helped out in crimes against me. Dave was dating one of their daughters, Michelle, a young blonde girl. Everybody knew about Michelle. That's how he got away with everything. The agents even bragged they stayed out of the gunshot night at the register at Walmart because she's so much prettier. She's a young blonde girl. People said that a man named Cameron died that night. Another man said he's crippled. I was going to turn them in 19. I told the guys when I was alone, because my house is bugged, nobody did anything. And when I came down here, a little boy ran in front of me at Maskers Park. Can we have Karen now? His mom said the men are done with her after what happened to Daddy. And I thought it was misdirected anger. And I thought, well, she's part of it. But regardless, I got a prepaid phone and I made a copy of my phone. Got witnesses of what Dave and how he bragged of the gunshot night to Dixie. And then verbal statements of everything that happened. I was already found innocent of Melissa's kids 2 years ago. It was fucking shit that my family should be ashamed of me jokes. I didn't know they had somebody break in and roofie a weird confession until this last May. A little old lady in town screamed it out. That's not funny what the church people did, that they broke in before, drugged her. Told her to say she's some kind of weird molester before. That's not funny. And she started screaming for the neighborhood here at one of those idiots. And then in Wendy's on May 25th in the evening, the crew were speaking about it in front of my old client. How not funny it was what the church people did to me before. And those date rape drugs, your conscious sets down and your subconscious code takes over. You have no memory. That's how they rape women. And they put them somewhere and the only thing they remember is the restaurant. And I guess they told me to admit to everything they wanted and not the truth. And because they put up my drink when I was out of the room, I never even seen anybody. There was times I woke up with black and blue marks on me. FBI can't break in and drug you. They have to knock on the door, show you their badge, read you your memorandum rights, offer you attorney and legal representation. Otherwise it gets thrown out. Let alone they would get the crazy crap what the church people put in before. I was supposed to be an informant for the FBI. No man was ever to touch me. I was supposed to have a life of peace, accused of no wrongdoing, nothing legally stated, dated against me again, and always right back to that traffic ticket even when it was over. Only remain quiet while we investigate. But that idiot told Paymer before they offered me the deal. I was so upset when I was talking to Agent Will of that, telling him how scared I was. I forgot a few key points, like that guy was there the night before. They checked. The response was that I actually told Hunter. He did. And I guess he's behind a lot of this. I need to get medical attention. I have that neurochip, a big dent in the back of my skull, about the size of an egg. Mercy Medical Radiology Department, March of this year. CD under dye. You can see the wires, the cut, the crack. Altman Hospital, March 13th. I went in because I have swelling right here at the base where it's pulling. It's actually right here. It's caved in. And you can see with the picture there's a cut. And then off the cut there's a crack that goes right here. And it's pulling down inside, and you can see 4 wires into the side of my brain. I was stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator between 10 and 12 of 18. Woke up, my hair, some of my hair was missing, the rest was straight up. And Dave's accusing me of having an affair. I woke up 6 hours later. I'm like, I had no idea what happened. Migraines for 8 months. Well, we went into Walmart back by the TVs. Guys are standing there with cell phones. We implanted a neurochip. I'm thinking, you're lying. Who would do that? They did. They run around with the cell phones, reading my thoughts. Comes up on police scanners, government chip. I've asked the FBI to take it out. I have turned him into the White House. I have turned him into the Department of Justice. These people call hospitals, doctors, tell them not to help me. They tell attorneys not to represent me, which they're stupid not to. They could retire. They turned on their informant in Boston, let someone get away with 17 murders. He sued him for $500 million, got like 50. People could retire representing me. All this was outlawed in 2005, U.S. Supreme Court, 11th Circuit, case 18-10134. They tried it in a jail setting of all things. Neurochipping, beat rape, torture, drugging, and they threw 33 agents in jail for 20 years. This is the United States of America. You cannot do any of this and not go to jail. And then on top of it, it makes the agency look stupid. Because not only did I not do anything wrong, it was proven. And they were doing it for one of their own to get everything. And then on top of it, Dave used that little girl and then broke up with her and went on to a woman of his own faith. I was speaking with my other daughter-in-law the other day. I said, you know, that agent's daughter, Michelle. She's like, oh, I know about Michelle. Everybody did. Memorial Day weekend 2019. Older white woman by the food counter, 62, Walmart. Ford is my daughter. Her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. And it is for my daughter they did all this for. And our family that watches her down here. And who is Karen's rich boyfriend. But the state of Ohio who protects her, mocking me for being a protected person. They had hired 6 stalkers, 2 murderers. I had almost been shot in the head driving. I slammed on the brakes and tucked my head. The undercover police in the Ravenna courthouse were working security that day, running a little late, but because my car was parked, they knew what happened. Inside Walmart is the cesspool between 10 of 18 and 3 of 19. Stalkers chased off, arrested. Agents break in, they stayed out of it. The gunshot night, people saying they're not allowed to pull me out because the guy running it wouldn't let them. For what reason? Besides Michelle. Instead of just taking a bunch of money out and pay me off. That would be too kind. He was already going to kill me for this other girl, Katie, in Lenox. He tried. By the grace of God, I'm still alive. They're trying to make it wait for the neurochip to kill me, so he won't be connected. Because over time it will. It's like a time bomb. What's the difference between this and a drop of arsenic? Or just going out and shooting someone? Murder is murder. It doesn't matter how you kill someone. I even proved they sold the login. Of all things, I proved they sold the login. They can't even call me crazy. They sold it to Macedonia, Twinsburg, Hartville, North Canton, Maslin, Warren, Youngstown. It's at least 50, 60 miles around. Truck drivers, regular workers, teenagers, old ladies. They didn't care who they sold it to. They came up and told me they were, and then all of a sudden people knew more about the case than I did. Especially like about Michelle, and different things. That's one of the things John's kids. The house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa, and Grandma needs to get out. But he was already wanting this other woman in his church, and he mentioned her September 3rd through 6th, that he'd rather have her than me, and I offered to take my things and leave, and he's like, you're not allowed to leave. Jack and I had this plan since March. And I'm like, if you have something planned, I'll take my things and just go. I'll just give up everything. He said, Jack said you wouldn't be willing to give up everything willingly, and we have to do it this way. I even have a tape of him stating that he has people ready to testify against me. He had it all set up before I already left. I'm going to be putting this on the internet if people don't get down here. I've asked to even be put in the witness program. Somebody even tried to break in my apartment like 3 nights ago. I'm not safe here. I'm not safe anywhere. And everybody knows I'm innocent. I almost died. I was so mad at him for threatening my other family's life, Josh's family. I was like, you bastards, you'll go through me to get to them. He tried. And then he played to have people play with their vehicles. That's why the Madison police watch him. And that's why if you always ask them, she's innocent. They work the whole case. And the Ravenna Courthouse undercover police. This was wiped out 2 years ago. The only thing that they have is where people roofied me and told me to say crazy crap. And witnesses now of other people knowing it. If I have to put this on YouTube and shame everybody, I will. I've reported them to even the Portage County Sheriffs, even for documented assault with internal injuries. The gunshot night, the police were called. I could hear sirens in the distance. While I'm hiding with a loaded gun on the floor. And there was a police report, and where the neighbor tried to grab me the next day when I ran from him. Will they arrest him? No. Not even for the assault. And he admits it on my phone. And with it being a state and federal case, they actually have him in his own voice. Not drugged. No drugs involved. Of how they killed those people. Will they arrest him? No. Why? Exactly. Even getting things out of fear and duress is extortion. It's a 15-year sentence. There's laws that would lock these people up for the rest of their lives. Don't ever, ever give them money, because the only thing that you're going to be doing is financing more murders, more extortion, more kidnapping, more roofied confessions on things that never happened bad to anyone, to get more money to finance more. It's an occult, a severe cult like Jim Jones. It's the same religion. Think of how many people they killed. They're after my 2-year-old granddaughter, her mother, and my middle son. And they have more people. Do not give those giggling, lying children money. Now, like I said, I've asked the White House for help. Senator Shireen knows that they did crimes against me and won't fix it. I've turned it into the Inspector General, the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice Civil Rights said it doesn't fall under civil rights. Told me to get an attorney. But it does go under misconduct. They haven't got back with me with that one. And I have it in the special counsel. They haven't got back to me with that one either. But, you know, there is laws. It's called Justice for Victims of Torture and Terrorism Act. that the government has to fix it. Has to fix it. And has to pay the victims that they hurt. I was going to turn it, I bought a prepaid phone and I was going to turn it in. And down the way at 12:39, a chapel in the middle of the night, a man and a woman was out there, a bunch of silver cars. We can't have her state what happened up there. Screaming. You can't beat a single woman by herself. I thought they were trying to scare me. No, beat rape torture, beat rape torture. Horrifying. I take spasm medicine from that. I had nightmares for 9 months coming up out of my sleep, begging God to help me. Agent involved. Follow me at Macy's, follow me in my church. The guy at my church had the login, yelled at them, what you did was considered rape, you leave her alone, in front of 1,000 people. While one's smothering you and the other one's punching your private area, it's rape. It sat me up, drugged me, and when I still said no, started again and started beating a confession out till my neighbor heard the bangs. Yeah. And he knew I was innocent. Berry Cheese, I worked there between July and September of 19. 4 women in the main room, 2 heavy set in the middle. He said, if you open your mouth again, he'll do it to you again. These people are blatantly don't care where they say it, under tape and audio and in front of people. June of 19, Liberty House share. It was either North Canton or Jackson Police. Worst thing, along with the FBI. Worst thing you ever did wrong, honey. Been over him properly. We can wipe that one up. 9/19/19. Undercover police do a cute skit with the judges. Before you had us look into it, you knew she couldn't handle it. And you knew she appreciated us doing it. You can find she did nothing wrong. Judge Pete walks by, Judge Timothy comes in laughing. We're ready to begin. October 23rd, 2019. Flora finally states it, and Josh goes, ew, don't say that again. It's not true. She starts laughing. She's 7. Of course it's not true. Of course it never happened. We made it up. It was a game of pretend, laughing and giggling, till she can't quit laughing when she sits at the table. Like that. And she's sucking her lips in and chuckling. Of the mean game of pretend where I was supposed to assault it. It's not funny to teach your children to lie. But they're trying to extort money out of people to finance more murders. Let alone they went as far as hiring real stalkers, real murderers, to kill a bunch of people. And they went as far as roofing people. Roofing me for a fake confession of people I never met. They leave men's name of Kurt, Chris, Eric, Steve, and Mark. I think of Craig too. And that Keith, I don't know any of these people, nor have I met them. And even Will, I know only talked to him at one time on the phone. I've never even met him. No agent, no officer showed up at my door. Matter of fact, the only time they even showed up, they walked by me, were from the FBI, were from the district attorney's office, we're here to help. And they just walked by me. We're from the police department. We're from the bar association. We're from here, we're from there. And so I wouldn't be afraid of them. That was it. They didn't sit down and say, Karen, here's my badge, here's this, here's that. They didn't do anything like that. They just walked by and said who they were from. Now they did grab people on a wall. And they surrounded me and chased people out. No. Do not give those liars and kidnappers and druggers money. The only thing you're gonna do is finance more murders, more kidnappers, and more extortion. And I am gonna be putting this on YouTube. And I need surgery to get the neurochip out. And I can't afford it. And it's a government chip, and it comes up on police scanners. Government chip. You know, in Revelations, it talks about the government marking you. I don't go into extremist religious, but I am very religious, but I don't go into hysteria. But I don't think the government should grab someone and chip them. But in the book of Revelations, it says they do. Talks about it that you can't buy or sell. And nobody wants the world to end. And they had no right, and they outlawed it in 2005. And they need to fix it. And they need to make it right between me, that lady that lost her husband, and the guy in the wheelchair, and anybody else got hurt on the gunshot night. And maybe Josh a garage with the garage door opener that works. To keep his vehicles in there so they cannot undo his lug nuts so his tires come off. Or flatten his tires or play with his brake systems anymore. And so his car, it backfires, blows smoke. They do not explode your whole car. He did not have his cars tampered with until they put a threat on him. These people are not funny. And I have internal injuries from both the attack of that agent and from that idiot I was married to. And the government needs to make it right between me and those people. And honestly, they need to come down and arrest all these idiots for participating in it. And how dare they even knowing that they roofied me and told me to say crazy crap, to even take a moment to consider it. You roofied her and you told her to say it. And so we're going to even listen to it when I haven't listened to it and I didn't know who did it to me? How dare you? And I didn't even see anybody. Do you know how horrified I am? And how furious? How dare you? Maybe some public shame will take care of it. Turn back to the truth. For remember the truth, they'll try to implant lies, and they'll try to steal everything you have in life. Remember, the agents are so corrupt, they would even try to steal a settlement. Remember, an agent warned me.